Imagine this, you just bought the most anticipated game of the year on Steam. You download it, launch it, and it's a buggy mess. Or maybe it just doesn't run on your PC at all. What do? Today, it's simple. You hit the Steam refund button. Steam's 14-day, 2-hour refund policy is almost legendary in PC gaming, a policy many other platforms should adopt. But here's a secret, it wasn't always this consumer friendly. For years, getting a refund on Steam was pretty much impossible. So how did Valve, a company known for its no refund stance, end up with one of the most generous return policies in the industry? The answer lies in a groundbreaking legal battle down under. Steam's old refund policy was, to put it lightly, an absolute nightmare for consumers. Valve's stance was famously, no refunds unless required by local law. This wasn't just a casual suggestion. Their terms and conditions were designed to deny consumers any entitlement to refunds for digitally downloaded games, under any circumstances. Valve's message was clear. If you bought a game from them, even if it was broken, unplayable, or simply didn't work on your system, you were stuck with it. Your money was gone. This led to countless frustrating scenarios for gamers around the world. Picture spending $60 or more for a highly anticipated title only to discover it was filled with game-breaking bugs. Before 2015, these were often dead ends, leading to wasted money and a lot of disappointment, which at the time was easily one of the biggest complaints for Steam, until one government decided enough was enough. The Australian Competition and Consumer Commission, or ACCC. In 2014, the ACCC, Australia's powerful consumer protection agency, officially launched legal action against Valve. Their main accusation was that Steam's refund policy, especially its terms and conditions, were in direct violation of the Australian Consumer Law, or ACL. Now, Valve, being a US-based company, initially argued that Australian laws shouldn't apply to them since they didn't have a physical presence there. But the ACCC made it clear that if you're selling to Australian consumers, you are subject to Australian law. The heart of the dispute was simple. Valve's terms essentially told gamers they had no right to a refund, even for fundamentally flawed games. This directly clashed with the ACL's fundamental consumer guarantees. Think of these guarantees as a universal promise. Anything you buy, whether it's a physical toaster or a digital video game, must be of acceptable quality, meaning it works as expected, and fit for purpose, meaning it does what it's advertised to do. If a game was broken, misleadingly described, or simply didn't function, Australian consumers were legally entitled to a refund, repair, or replacement. Valve's no refund policy wasn't just unfair, it was considered misleading because it actively denied consumers their statutory rights. Now, here's where things get interesting. Valve didn't wait for the Australian courts to hand down their final verdict. On June 2nd, 2015, just under a year after the ACCC lawsuit was filed, and over a decade ago from today, Valve revealed a truly game-changing global refund policy. The new rules were revolutionary. Customers could request a refund for any reason within 14 days of purchase, provided they had played the game for less than 2 hours. This policy wasn't limited to just games, it covered software, pre-orders, DLC, and even bundles, with no questions asked. Suddenly, Steam went from having a refund policy that many complained about to one of the best in the industry. Of course, Valve didn't outright say the reason for changing their policy, but all signs point directly to the ACCC lawsuit, which was for this exact policy. So as Valve saw the writing on the wall, they seemingly made a change before they ran into any more lawsuits in different countries. Fast forward to March 2016, the Federal Court of Australia made its final decision. Valve was found guilty of misleading and deceptive conduct. The court slammed Valve's old policy for falsely claiming that consumers had no refund rights and noted a very poor culture of compliance with consumer laws. In December 2016, Valve was hit with a $3 million fine and ordered to publish clear information about consumer guarantees on Steam's website, implement a compliance program, and stop making misleading statements about refunds. Valve fought back, appealing the decision, but their efforts didn't work. The full federal court dismissed their appeal, and in April 2018, the High Court of Australia refused to hear their case, making the ruling final, and Valve was forced to pay the $3 million. After this change, Steam's reputation just kept growing, cementing its place as the go-to platform for PC gaming. So the ACCC lawsuit didn't just change Steam, it reshaped the gaming industry. This change built a new level of trust between Steam and its massive user base. This is especially important for today's gaming, where early access titles, day one patches, and occasionally unfinished game launches are common. Steam's 14-day 2-hour window provides a priceless testing period, allowing gamers to check performance, compatibility, and simply whether a game truly meets their expectations without having to worry about throwing their money away. Of course, there are some games which try to go around this policy by making the intro and tutorial longer than 2 hours to avoid people refunding right away, but on many occasions, Valve has even gave refunds even if it didn't fit in the 2-hour or 2-week window, if there was some drastic change or important reason. So what began as a legal battle in Australia against what seemed like an unmovable tech giant ended up changing how we buy and play games. Have you ever had a frustrating experience before 2015, or has the current policy saved you from a bad purchase?